So good morning, everyone. Welcome for the FICO demo. This is Manohar. Having 14 plus years of SAP FICO experience. I'm based out of Houston, America. So I'll take you through the simple demo, and at the end you can have any questions for me. All right. So after having 13 years of experience, 14 years of experience, even if I go for a interview, some interviewers, they can ask you about the basic fundamental golden rules of accounting. So we have in SAP FICO, so those who are trying to learn, you have to go back and learn the fundamental rules of accounting. So first rule, it says about your personal accounts. So what is the personal account, and what is the golden rule says about the personal account? Debit the receiver and credit the giver. So how the entry looks like in a FICO module. It is not only in SAP FICO, wherever you go, even for accounting jobs, you need to know all these fundamental rules. So if you take any example here, like as you see, take the example of buying gift from a gift shop. So what is the entry for the entry for as a personal account? Purchase account debit and gift shop is credit. And at the same time, we have the second golden rule, real account. So here it says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. In real account, if you see, the business receives something for value and it is represented in the books as debited. And if something value goes out from the business, it is represented as credited. So this is how the entry looks like. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. This is the second fundamental rule. We call it as real accounts. And the third fundamental rule, which says about nominal account, debit all your expenses and losses, credit all your incomes and gains. So you need to book it as expenses debit, and what credit all your incomes and gains. Here, if you are paying something as a rent, it shows rent debit, and what goes out is your cash. So why I'm taking this, the fundamental rules, FICO, nothing to do with SAP, but you need to know these fundamental rules, and you need to go back to your school, college, and learn these fundamentals to understand the FICO module in thoroughly. Now, if you go to our SAP ERP system, we have understanding of ERP with the enterprise resource planning. There are 6 M's concept here. So first M talks about money, finance, accounts, costing, controlling. This is the module we are going to see as a FICO. And the second M is material. This talks about material management, stock inventory, purchasing module in SAP. Manpower. The third M is manpower, which is HR module in SAP. And the fourth one is machinery, maintaining, planning, production planning, plant maintenance, quality assurance. These are the other functional submodules. And marketing. The fifth M is marketing. This is about sales and distribution. Methods. We have 6 M is methods. CRM, SCM, SRM. These are also modules in SAP. Customer relation management, supply chain management, and supplier relationship management. These are the 6 M's which comes up with so many functional modules in SAP. And the planning. What is planning? Utilization of resources for a huge business organization in a proper way with less efforts and gaining more profit is the more intention of planning. So there are so many ERP applications you may come across in the market. You may see the ERP other than SAP. Some of them I have outlined here, like Bond, PeopleSoft, Oracle application, SAP, JD Edwards, Ramco. These are all ERP applications. When you go initial implementations with some clients, they are using these ERPs, and they may ask you to convert the data from different ERPs or different accounting packages and into SAP. And non-ERP applications you may come across like this: Oracle, VB, Data Warehouse, .NET, Power Builder, etc. So what are the ERP basics? So you need to understand some of the concepts thoroughly for learning SAP any functional module. My SAP ERP position and the organizational levels, master data, transactional data, reporting purposes, what are the submodules they are using for any client. You need to understand the reporting point of also. Some of the applications, ERP applications. So I just want to outline here. Organizational level creation of master data. And for each module, if you take any module, functional module like FI or controlling, sales and distribution, planning, any other module, we have a organizational data needs to be created starting for each module. And after that, once you are familiar with organizational level data creation, you need to set up in system the master data. So if you see in SAP FICO, you may come across GL master, vendor master, customer master, bank master, cost center master, internal order master, and cost elements. There are types of master data. And the third one is transactional data. So once you set up with the master data, you can post transactions, day-to-day activities, or day-to-day purchase, sales, payments, collections. These are all called transaction data when you try to post a document. In SAP terminology, we call it as a document. Once it is recorded as a SAP posting, that will be called as a document. Document is nothing but which carries about your date on which you are posting a document and the currency. You will be explaining under which currency you are trying to post each document. And so who is debit and who is credit? What are the materials you are purchasing? These are all the information you will record in a transactional data as a document. Each document in SAP records as a unique document number. Each document identifies with the unique document number. Tomorrow, if you have anything needs to be changed, business will come back and say, this is my document number, this is the document currency, this is the document I have to rectify something. There are certain areas you can rectify in a document. So that is about document or transactional data. So ERP is an industry package with a lot many modules in it. If you see here, the list of modules I have mentioned, not only these modules, there are so many modules, but we may come across some of the main modules when you are working in SAP. So if you open SAP, there is a SAP AG details about in SAP system. There are certain model company codes which may come across with SAP AG. You can copy that company code and create your own company code. Company code is company under company code. So that is purely FICO terminology, what I am talking about company code, that you will come to know once you sign up for class and once we start day-to-day classes. So this SAP ERP is developed in 1972 by 5 IBM employees, and it was initially developed, and applications are all with ABAP language. So ABAP is the one technical module where you need to learn a coding, and that you will come to know what is the use of ABAP in going forward. For suppose business, we have a standard reports for each module. if the report, the output is not satisfied and it is not meet the business requirements, either layout or the output results, you can copy the standard reporting transaction with the help of technical consultant, with the ABAP person. We can modify the reports. With the help of ABAP, we can write programs also, the custom programs, not the SAP standard. We can copy the standards and modify according to the business requirements. Or you can develop a report with the help of ABAP by fetching different tables, data from different stored tables and the fields. So once you are familiar with the basic things, you will understand what is the usage of technical persons apart from functional modules. As I said, data are classified into three, and that I have explained: organizational data, master data, and the transactional data. So SAP System Landscape looks like this. While learning SAP, you may see only one system, that is, and with one client. You may not able to see, and it is not possible to show you all the clients in particular one client in one system. So in any business scenario, in implementation or support, you will see three system landscape. First, development, quality, and production system. So whenever you get the login credentials, you will see client and your user ID, password. Under client one development system, you can have a number of clients, 100, 200, 300, 400 under one system. So why we use this type of a landscape? Because we do configuration and we do our changes as required by the business. We'll do everything in development system, and later on we'll move to quality system. In quality system, we give it to that system is accessed by the business users, and they do testing for each and every process what you have configured in the development system. Something you have configured and the configuration output is not up to the mark, they will say, the business users will say, this is not up to the mark, I need this many changes. Then again, you will go back here and do changes and transfer it to quality. Once it is accepted by the business, user acceptance is done, you will move the configuration transports. Each configuration you can store under transport request number. That transport will move to production once it is confirmed, or that is called go live. When we do that project go live, it is ready to for business transactions. I mean, the SAP is up, and now the business will work on production. And something fails here in the production system, again you have to go back and rectify here it in development and bring it to quality, give it to the business, and they will test it again and once they confirm, you will fix the issue by moving the transport from QAs to production. This is cycle, and these are all server, how the server room looks like, and servers. Here I have given some transaction codes, nothing to do with these transactions. So you will come to know. So under one development system, you will have multiple clients, I said. So this is the way it looks. They will partition.
Manohar, sorry to interrupt you. If you could please help us, putting this slide in presentation mode so that, text is a bit enlarged and we can able to see more. Thank you.
Do you see this?
Thanks.
Yep. So under each system, you will have different clients. These are all the client numbers. You may have development under development system, development 100, 200, 300. These are all. So you will come to know once you are familiar with, and once you get job, under which system it has to be configured first, and which client it has to be configured, and how the transports will be moved from one system to another system, who will be having access for that, and what extent you can transport from one a client to another client. For suppose the client is 100 is only for configuration, you will be doing configuration in 100, and before giving it to the quality system, the testing process, you will do it in 200, one round of testing by yourself to make it confirm the changes what you have done is working fine. So your project manager will ask you to configure in 100 client, and don't do any testing here. This is only a configuration client, and you will be asked to move the transports, whatever the changes you have done, move to 200 and do testing. Once you are confirmed with the 200 testing is fine, then you will ask basis team to transport the transport numbers from this system to the quality system. So this you will come to know once you are familiar with the SAP terminology and so on. Now S4, so SAP started with a different versions. Now you forget about all other old versions. I don't want to give you the old version names and getting confused with so many things. Now everywhere with SAP S4HANA. S4HANA will give you the features here, front end and back end, and the data storage, everything is provided by SAP. Previously it was SAP front end and back end is someone else. The storing of your data, server maintenance and everything with the different ERPs. Now, at this point of time, whoever purchase with the SAP, you will be getting only the S4. And SAP has made strict, those are all using the old versions should come on S4, SAP S4HANA by 2027. It was made with 2025. They have extended another 2 years due to this COVID pandemic. By 2027, you will see all SAP ERP will be on S4HANA. So all the old clients, whoever are using the other than SAP S4HANA, they have to come on S4HANA by 2027. That's the reason. So lot many opportunities in SAP going forward. Another 6 years. So we will be expecting lot many projects and lot many job opportunities for S4. So normally ERP solution implementation starts with the business these many phases: business process analysis and document analysis, client sign off, gap analysis, realization, testing, quality assurance, end user training, go live, and post production support. These are the phases. So these phases, based on your company size, it depends on how much time it will take. So if you are going to implement for a small company, all these phases can be completed within 6 months. If implementation is huge organization having expected around 60 countries, it will take one implementation project itself will take 4 years, 5 years. So I'm not going each and every step what will we do, but you can learn this while learning your module. So positions in SAP. What are the positions in SAP? So you can work as a functional consultant once you are familiar with the entire module. As a functional consultant, will have these many sub-modules: FICO, SD, MM, PP, PM, plant maintenance, project systems. There are so many. I just outlined here 5 or 6. Technical consultant, person who is skilled in ABAP programming. At the beginning itself, I told you programming. Whoever good at writing programs by using this module, ABAP module, they will be called as technical consultant. And some of them are later on they will convert into a techno-functional consultant. So here the term also here says techno-functional, both. So you will be first you will be joining as a technical consultant, and you are working with the different submodules of SAP, and slowly you will pick up the other modules, functional module, in a span of 5 to 6 years or 3 years, and you will become as a techno-functional consultant, because you are writing by using the code and by using the tables of functional module and tables and elements, and slowly they will pick up your functional module and they will become as a techno-functional consultant. So my suggestion here is for the team, whoever wants to become a functional consultant, you need to be familiar with this type of MS Office tools and the project management skills and chatting language with the business users, how politely you can chat with the business, and you can done the work. So WebEx, GoToMeeting, Teams, these type of meeting tools, and a PowerPoint presentation skills, etc. What type of roles you will be taking in once you are in the project? Once you get job, you may be working as an implementation team member or purely production support. Implementation is done already, and you will be working in production system. You will be working, handling with the tickets, business user queries, and that is called production support. And the rollouts. For suppose, as I said, if your implementation organization is implementing for 60 countries, they will go phase by phase. First, Asian countries, then European countries, then North America, South America, likewise. So once they'll do one area and later on they'll do rollouts. You will also work as a rollout in the rollout project also. And sometimes you may get chance to work upgrades. So for old client, they are in ECC6 and now they want to go with S4HANA. Everything, users are very smart and they know the SAP also. So you may get chance to work with upgrade projects. So they are in ECC, now they want to go with the S4 and you will get that chance as a upgrade, and you will be working as a in the upgrade team. I just outlined here SAP modules, and I want to tell you about basis. There is another technical module. They don't do much configuration or much technical programming, but they are the key persons in SAP for SAP installation, the server maintenance, security, and network maintenance, user maintenance, upgrades, technical upgrade, functional upgrade. So this is basis consultant role. Basis consultant role, they will do all these job duties. And this is FICO submodules. And huge organizations, sometimes you may get to work only particular accounts payable or accounts receivable, only general ledger, only cost accounting. So you need to be familiar with all the submodules in SAP FICO, and you may get chance only to work certain modules. 4 or 5 submodules, if you are good and you are up to the mark, you can knock the interview and you can get job. And if you are familiar with one particular submodule, and you may ask to work on that particular submodule. So we do a project, working with the projects, but we may work only in 2 submodules, entire 6 months, entire 1 year. So that is the reason they have separated each module wise, and you can familiar with these are the submodules of SAP. All right.